Someone needed help today. Maybe it was a video you scrolled past. Maybe it was a comment, someone screaming into the void, while thousands of people read it, and nobody did anything, including you. I'm not saying that to guilt you. I'm saying it because it's not your fault. And that right there is the most terrifying part of what we're about to discuss. If it's not your fault and it's not theirs, then who is responsible? And why does having more people watching make it less likely that anyone will act? New York City, March 13th, 1964, 3:15 a.m. A woman named Kitty Genovese is attacked walking home from work. She screams. Lights turn on. Windows open. 38 people witness what's happening. Not one of them called the police in time. When investigators asked why, the answers were almost identical. I thought someone else would call. 38 witnesses, each one assuming the other 37 had it handled. This case sent two psychologists, Darley and Latane, into their labs with one question. What happens to responsibility when we share it with a crowd? What they found would disturb them for the rest of their lives. They placed participants in a room and started pumping smoke through the vents. Alone? 75% reported it within 2 minutes. With two calm actors in the room, only 10% reported it. 9 out of 10 people sat in a smoke-filled room and did nothing, because the people around them seemed calm. So they concluded, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe someone else already handled it. Psychologists name this the bystander effect. The more witnesses present, the less likely any one of them is to act. Responsibility doesn't multiply with the crowd. It dissolves. Two forces create this paralysis, and both push toward inaction. 1. Diffusion of responsibility. When you're the only witness, the full moral weight lands on you. But with 10 witnesses, your share is 1/10. With 1 million, your responsibility becomes mathematically invisible. Someone else is handling it. Your brain genuinely believes this, not as an excuse, as a calculation. 2. Pluralistic ignorance. In ambiguous situations, we look to others for cues. If the crowd is calm, we conclude it's safe to be calm. But everyone in the crowd is doing the exact same thing. Everyone sees calm faces. Everyone concludes there's no emergency. There is. An entire crowd, each person privately concerned, performing calmness for each other, while no one acts. Now take everything we just said and multiply the crowd by 1 billion. Because that's what social media did to the bystander effect. When a video of someone in genuine crisis gets 2 million views, each viewer experiences exactly what those 38 New Yorkers experienced in 1964. 2 million people saw this. Someone must be helping. What could I even do from here? 2 million witnesses. Zero help. Here's where 2026 is categorically worse than 1964. In 1964, witnesses were passive. They froze. They did nothing. Today, people don't just watch. They record, they share, they like, they comment. And the platforms are designed to make suffering feel like content, something to react to share, and then forget in 0.8 seconds when the next video arrives. The 38 New Yorkers felt guilty for years. The modern bystander often doesn't remember the video by the time dinner is ready. Here's something the platforms don't advertise. Distressing content performs better. A study by MIT's Media Lab found that emotionally charged content spreads dramatically faster than neutral content. Outrage, fear, shock, suffering. These emotions drive engagement, and engagement drives revenue. The algorithm doesn't care what you're feeling when you stop scrolling. It only cares that you stopped. So it learned to surface suffering, to serve it to you late at night, when your emotional defenses are lowest. The bystander effect told us humans become passive in crowds. Social media built an infinite crowd, then filled it with content specifically designed to trigger passivity and keep you scrolling. It is not an accident. It is a business model. Think about the last time you saw something distressing online. What did you do? Did you scroll past? Did you share it with a caption? Did you comment how terrible it was? And then, the real question. Did you do anything that actually helped? If the answer is no, you're not a bad person. You are a human being with a Paleolithic brain navigating a platform engineered to exploit its oldest vulnerabilities. Understanding that doesn't excuse inaction, but it makes choosing differently possible. This is not abstract. People have died in the social media age, while millions watched. Teenagers in crisis live streaming while viewers sent reaction emojis, but not one person called emergency services. Accidents filmed by dozens of bystanders while victims waited for help because everyone assumed someone else had called. Psychologist Philip Zimbardo spent years studying what he called the psychology of evil in ordinary people. His conclusion: evil is not the act of monsters. It is the act of ordinary people in situations that make inaction easy. Social media has become the most efficient situation manufacturing machine in history. It makes inaction effortless. One moment. If this video has made you see your own behavior differently, subscribe right now. This channel exists to create exactly this kind of awareness, the kind that changes how you move through the world. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. The second half is where things get genuinely hopeful. British anthropologist Robin Dunbar calculated that the human brain evolved to handle relationships with approximately 150 people. In a community of 150, the bystander effect self-corrects. You know these people. You're accountable to them. Their suffering lands on you personally. But social media shattered Dunbar's number. Every day, your brain is exposed to thousands of strangers, all competing for the same finite moral attention built for 150. Your moral attention dilutes, not because you became less moral, because you are running a 150-person brain in a 4 billion-person network. It was never designed for this. Buried in Darley and Latané's original data was a finding most people never hear. When one person broke from the crowd and acted, others followed. One person saying, "I'm calling right now," collapsed the diffusion of responsibility for everyone else. It made the abstract personal again. And here is what that means. The most powerful thing any individual can do in a crowd of bystanders is refuse to be one. Not because one person saves everyone, but because one person refusing to hide in the crowd gives permission for others to do the same. 3 things, backed by research, that actually work. 1. Name yourself. Don't say someone should help. Say, I am going to help right now. Specificity ends diffusion. 2. Address one person directly. In emergencies, the most effective intervention is a direct request to one specific person. They cannot diffuse responsibility into a crowd. 3. Interrupt your scroll. Build one personal rule. If you feel something, stop. Decide deliberately, not by default. A comment that says, "I see you," can change what someone does next. You don't have to save everyone. You have to save the habit of not looking away. Here is the paradox. Social media is the most powerful amplifier of the bystander effect ever created, and it is also the most powerful antidote. In the right hands, the same virality that spreads suffering can spread intervention. The same algorithm that rewards passive engagement can be used to drive real action, if enough people understand the psychology well enough to override the default. The technology is not the enemy. The default behavior is the enemy, and defaults can be overridden. We started with a question. Someone needed help today, and the crowd did nothing. Now one last question. Who decides to be the one person who does? The research tells us it's not about courage. It's not about being special. It's about one decision, made in advance, to refuse to let someone else's suffering become your content. The bystander effect only works when everyone assumes someone else is acting. The moment you act, it collapses. Kitty Genovese needed 38 people to each take 3 seconds to pick up a phone. The person in crisis on your feed tonight might just need you to take 30 seconds to actually mean it. Mind exposed. not just your brain. Your choices. If this changed how you see something, share it. Not as content, as a conversation. Subscribe to Mind Exposed. See you in the next one.